What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday. It's the Late Night Agenda. I'm your host, Craig, and you are all most welcome along to the Anfield Agenda YouTube channel. Champions League is back with a bang. We've had 2 nights of, will we say, high quality football? 2 nights of football at the European level. We can talk, of course, about the Reds trip over to Marbella. We can have a chat about United capitulating last night against PSG. We can have a chat about Spurs and a magnificent win tonight. Or anything else you want to talk about Liverpool related. I will, of course, talk about Torque. I will, of course, spoke. I'm going to try this again. It's one of those days, guys. It's one of those days. I will, of course, be speaking about Timo Werner as well. I'll talk about the fact that Jurgen Klopp has been charged by the FA with regards to his comments about Kevin Friend during the 1-1 draw against West Ham, and lots of other little bits and pieces as well. Look, I can see a lot of people as well talking about Spurs straight away in the chat. Kyle is in, PC Benjamin is in, Sean W is in, Tom Boland, Sam, Louis, Jack, the Revenite, Bateson Jr., JR Football Prey, Farrell, Liz Golden, Dylan Silence, Cryptic Game, and Mr. Bugsy Inferno. I think I got everybody in there. Liz, did I get Liz in? Yes, I think I've got everyone in. Jack Reynolds, Graham Holmes, and of course, our very own October. How are we, guys? I hope you're all keeping well. Just a reminder that this is the last show until Sunday. So after tonight, there'll be no more streams for myself until Sunday. So I hope you can cope with a few days away. Mo Beard already, said Cryptic Game. It does not take that man long. I mean, the beard envy I have is unbelievable. Mo Salah has a shave. He looks clean, crisp, and then, 2 days later? Looks like it's back already. I mean, the beard growing abilities of that man is almost as good as his football abilities. Ziyech is such an intelligent player, said Furno. I'm alright with Spurs winning just as long as United and City don't, said Ben Rafferty. Look, I know it's a Liverpool stream, but we have to touch on the night's Champions League football, don't we? Because we'd be foolish not to. Congratulations to Spurs. As I said, there's never any fucking bad blood here for me with regards to other English clubs. Spurs went out today, a 3-0 home win. You cannot ask for more than that if you're a Spurs fan. Real Madrid go away to Ajax and win 2-1, which probably didn't do the game justice, or the score justice. Shouldn't have done Ajax's performance justice, I should say, because Ajax were excellent, particularly in that first half. We'll talk about the goal, the first use of VAR in the Champions League as well. How are we, Eugene? How are you, mate? Welcome. Why did Klopp get fined? I'll talk about that a little bit further on, mate. It was basically to do with his comments around the 1-1 draw about Kevin Friend. I'll go through it in more detail a little bit later on. What else we got? Have you been here since 500? Or I have been here since 590 subs. Jack, that is a long time, mate. Welcome. Have you really been here that long? That's a very specific number as well, Jack. But you know what? I didn't realise you'd been here that long. A couple of people, I know a lot of people seem to be disappointed that Dortmund didn't win, but you know what? Spurs were clinical. You have to hand it to them. Without Dele Alli, without Harry Kane. Well, they had Son there, who was an excellent footballer, as I keep saying. Really is good. What a ball. What a ball, by the way, for his goal. Was it from Jan Vertonghen or was it Alderweireld? I can't remember which one of them it was. Amazing ball. Straight onto his foot. Couldn't ask for better. I will, of course, talk about Declan Rice as well, Louis, because a lot of people have been contacting me today asking me about that and asking me for my thoughts on it. So I will go through that. It's in my notes to do. What else have we got? Spurs look really good, said Liz Golden, and credit to them. As I said, I don't feel bitter about other English teams doing well or putting in good performances. Fair play to them. They had to go today, they had to do it, and they did. Need a lead to take to the second leg, though. Going to be tough, said Chris. The thing is, people are watching but not subbing. Crazy. I don't know, mate. We're doing okay. I mean, I'm quite happy. What are we there? Just around 8,500, a couple of subscribers away. I'm over the moon with how we're doing, and I think we'll keep growing, hopefully, fingers crossed. Ajax played amazing. I watched the first half of that game, Steph, and they were brilliant. They really were. Very unlucky with the VAR decision. We will, of course, talk about that one as well. But look, let's start with some Liverpool news, because this is, first and foremost, guys, a Liverpool show. So Jurgen Klopp has been charged by the FA over comments he made about the referee during the Reds' 1-1 draw away at West Ham. Klopp believed the fact that Kevin Friend realised at half-time that he made a mistake in allowing Liverpool's goal to stand because James Milner was clearly offside. Klopp believes that affected Kevin Friend's decision making for the second half, and that anything that was nearly 50-50 wasn't going our way because he felt bad about his mistake. Now, whatever you think about this, I'll leave that with you. I can only give you guys my opinion on this. And firstly, I agree with Klopp. I absolutely do. That's not to say what Klopp said was or wasn't right. But I do agree with him, and I can say this because, nobody can hold me accountable for it. So I feel that he was shocking. And yes, The goal was clearly offside. Liverpool's goal shouldn't have stood. We spoke about that before. But at what point can a manager not express himself at all in this day and age? Like, he didn't come out and he didn't start screaming about the referee. He didn't come out and he didn't start belittling the referee. He didn't come out and say that the English referees are wasters. He came out and he said he believed that he learned at half-time himself, Kloppo I mean, that the goal was offside, and he believed the referee probably learned the same thing, and he thought that affected his decision-making in the second half. Our manager's not allowed to have an opinion anymore. I mean, I'm not standing up for Kloppo here. I really am, and I promise you, I would have this conversation any which way. Jurgen Klopp was previously fined £8,000 for a breach of the rules when he ran onto the field after Divock Origi scored Liverpool's late winner in the win against Everton in the derby. Now, that one, there's no argument. We can say it was a manager celebrating, and we love him, and we do love him, and we love what he did. Not as much as we love Jordan Pickford, but we do love what he did. But it was wrong, and we understand that was wrong. And as much as we want to see passion in the game, him running onto the field like that to celebrate was wrong, and he got fined 8,000 for it. And personally, I've no problem with that whatsoever. I thought that was a fine that Jurgen Klopp deserved, and probably the best £8,000 he's ever going to spend, if the truth be told. But this one, I think the FA are just being absolute gobshites, I have to say. Calling him in over that because he stated an opinion. He didn't point out the referee. He didn't say the referee was shit. He didn't say that this was happening every week and he was getting robbed. Sean says the refs are untouchable, and it seems to be, because referees make mistakes. It's a tough job. I'm the first one to criticise referees. You guys see me do it week after week after week. But come on, managers are human. Managers are human. They have a right to... Why do this? Managers will stop doing post-match interviews if this is the case. If everything that they say is going to land them in trouble, they're going to stop doing them. And then TV companies will uproar and people will be losing their minds. But what's the point? Managers, come on. Do you want them to just be robots and go, yes, that was fantastic. What a game. Referee was fine. We had 7 corner. Oh, come on. It's just not right. So I think, from my humble opinion, the FA need to just get their finger out of their arses and just stop this crap. Managers, there's a lot at stake here for managers. They have a right to speak their mind to an extent. If it goes over the top, it goes over the top, and then you take action. But does anybody realistically think that was over the top? Now, I'd love to hear from opposition fans on this, of course, because sometimes we can be very Liverpool-centric on here, and we can wear red-tinted glasses, and I always try to take account of that. But come on. For me, that was just ridiculous. Craig got my head bitten off by Garkey because I said United's bubble had burst last night. Obviously, it was a sensitive time, mate. I mean, I can't say what Mark does or doesn't do on his channel, Stephen. I've no idea, pal. It's up to him how he runs his own channel, but you obviously hit a nerve. I love you for the wind-up. I mean, that's exactly what I'd expect. And I mean, I've lost my shit on here when people have said stuff to me. And I'm much more aggro than Mark would normally be. Hey Craig, hope you're doing well. Keep up the good work on the channel. Thank you, John. That is really nice of you, mate. Always a pleasure to have you in, mate. And always a pleasure to hear people say nice things about our little channel. £8,000 again, crazy. I think it might be more than that, JR Football, but I don't know 100%. I'm just guessing. We're just going off the last time. It was £8,000 the last time when he ran on to celebrate with Big Cock Divock for that goal. Right or wrong, it comes down to sour grapes. Said it comes out like sour grapes. Yes. Now, David, that's a conversation point that I understand 100%. So I completely get opposition fans saying it's sour grapes. I'd understand that, and I'd be the same in their position. So for that, I understand it completely. But for this one, I don't know, man. For this one, I don't agree with it at all. From the FA's point of view, as I said, banter amongst us fans sound. That's 50 cent to Klopp again. Kieran, it is. It's small change, but you know what, man? I'd rather Kloppo had that £8,000 in his pocket. He's just going to start sending out Pep Linders to do these interviews or something if it needs be. Your presenting is great, man. Thank you very much, Musa. That's really kind of you. 4 subs away, guys. Just 4 from 8.5k. You know what to do if you're watching. The FA are so annoying. They fine and punish people for saying a simple phrase that doesn't harm the referees. You can't even voice your own opinion. Did you just say I really amn't? Well, I probably did say amn't, yes. It's a very Irish thing to say. Charlene, how are you? Klopp is the best manager in recent years, am I right? At our club, 100%, mate. 100%. I'm so happy to have him here, and long may he be here. Craig, get your hair cut. I know, fucking hippie. I said to Connor earlier on, look at me here, man, I'm a hippie. Oh, I had to shave my face to make it nice and clean shaven just because I felt like there was too much hair happening on my head. Let's go yo-yo, said Tottenham. I mean, look, mate, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. If you're a Spurs fan, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the performance tonight. It was a fantastic result. No bitterness here whatsoever. I will talk about Timo Werner. Don't worry, guys. It's in the notes. It's actually the next thing I'm going to talk about. So let me just get through this little conversation around Jurgen Klopp, and then we'll get straight into it. So if you say the ref is bad, you get fined. If you say the ref is human and makes a mistake, you get fined. Absolute bullshit. Very well put, Tom, because I believe that phrase was used. I think Jurgen Klopp did say something along those lines as well, that referees are human. So yes, very well said. Take off the ball cap and show us the Van Dijk hair, mate. Ball cap? Fuck off, would you? This is my pride and joy at this moment in time, boy. I think a midweek forum for refs to answer questions would be a good show. Do you know what? It's not a bad idea, Graham. Actually, you could be onto something there, pal. Yeah, well in, mate. And maybe they could have different referees talking about examples, so as the ref that made the decision isn't held accountable for it in a public forum. But do you know what, Graham? I like your way of thinking there, buddy. Werner linked to Liverpool thoughts, mate. I put the fucking story out. Of course I know about Timo Werner. Don't you worry about that. I have some information on that one for you coming up really soon. Got to send Connor to Space Camp. How's it going? We're nearly there, mate. We're getting there. Connor is there with his PJs on, his NASA PJs, ready to go. Oh, we've done it. Brilliant. Thank you. But we keep going. Road to 10k, but 8.5k. Love you, people. Thank you. You're wonderful. Thank you so much for all your support. How did Ziyech play? Watch the Dortmund game. He was very, very good, Verno. Gotta admit, he was. But you know what? De Ligt. Can we talk about De Ligt? Oh my God, what a towering man he is. Wow. Up against Real Madrid there tonight. I know Madrid conceded 2, but he was outstanding, particularly in the first half again. Every manager in the whole World Football League should get together and slate the referees after individual games in one weekend. Do you know what they could do? This is how much of a fucker I'd be in these situations, right? So if I'm Kloppo and I'm getting into trouble every week, I'm bringing on some dude, the kit man or something, and I'm answering questions to the TV station afterwards. But whenever they ask about the referee, I'm whispering into the kit man's ear and I'm getting him to fucking say it, so I'm not getting in trouble. That's what I'd be doing. I would be bending rules a go-go. And I'd be paying all the kit man's fines, no problem, every single week. Kit man 1 week, youth coach the next week, fucking, I don't know, substitute the week after. And I would keep talking my mind through these people. I'd whisper to their ear and get them to say it to the television cameras. And I would happily keep paying those fines week after week, just so I could earn my grievances. That's how petty I am. I thought you were taking a break. Yes, Andrew. It goes to show nobody listens to me. Tonight is the last night, buddy. I won't be here Thursday, Friday and Saturday, and I will be back Sunday. Dybala is a god. Not if you ask anybody at Juventus at this moment in time with regards to the people who run the club, pal, because they're trying to move him on. They want our boy. They want our Mohamed Salah, which they aren't getting, of course. The FA will be handing out fines left, right and centre when VAR comes in. Just imagine. Yes, I can imagine. People, there will be a lot of fucking anger. Particularly like that instance tonight with the Ajax goal. Did anybody see that game? Or the goal that was ruled out for Ajax in the first half? It was so tough. It really was. I'm just trying to use my words correctly here. So there's two things to this. Was he offside? The line seems to show that he was ever so slightly offside. Now, what I don't buy into in that regard or that situation is that Courtois was interfered with. Fuck off. He came running out of his goal. If that was a centre-back that was coming out there to challenge and the forward went across as well like that, there's no way that the foul's being called. It was only because it was the goalkeeper. And because of that, for me, the foul part of it can fuck right off. But it seemed to be the way the ref indicated with his hand in the air and he blew his whistle for an indirect free kick that it was blown up for the offside. And the offside did seem to be very, very, very correct. But was it a clear and obvious error? Was it a clear and obvious error? And that's what I thought VAR was brought in to change. I mean, it took 2 minutes and 51 seconds of the referee chatting to them and looking at the screen to make that decision. So, to me, I mean, you can go on absolute technicalities and say that it was the correct decision, but should it have gone to VAR? Love to know your thoughts on this one. And I'm not emotionally invested in that game whatsoever. So, you know, this is no saltiness. This isn't a Liverpool fan moaning about a decision. This is just my take on that VAR incident, which is the first one we've really seen used in the Champions League. Craig, my 6-year-old nephew has found love for LFC, especially Salah, wants me to buy him a kit next month at Anfield. I've taught him right. Absolutely. Damn right. If you waited another month longer, maybe you might get a little bit cheaper because they do put sales on around April time. But that's just me being a dad and trying to get, a few quid off you there, Charlene. Right, here we go. The reason why a lot of you wonderful people are in. Let's talk Timo Werner. Now, I want to caveat this with a few things before we start. Normally, I don't mention anything that I get told on this stream. My emails are usually quite busy. I get sent stuff on WhatsApp. I get sent stuff every day. Stuff that I never really talk about because, like you, I believe everything is usually bullshit. And I get stuff on transfers, I get stuff on finances, I get stuff on how the club is run. And a lot of the time, I don't even pay a second heed to it. But over the past 24 hours, there's been a lot of stuff and a lot of chatter, some of it coming out of Germany, saying that Timo Werner may well be a Liverpool player come the 1st of July. Now, absolutely anything can happen in football, and I don't want people to take anything I'm going to say here as gospel. It makes sense that he becomes a Liverpool player to me, and everything that I've heard adds up. But I always tell people when they hear rumours to ask themselves, what do you think? To doubt everything that they've been told, and I include what I'm saying here. You've every right to doubt me, you've every right to question what I'm going to say. I believe this deal happens. I believe Timo Werner becomes a Liverpool player. Everything that I've read, been sent, heard on the grapevine, points to the fact that Timo Werner makes too much sense not to happen. From a financial perspective, from a playing perspective, the fact that there's already a pathway there between the two clubs, a few other bits and pieces as well, which I can't go into just yet because nothing is being confirmed that I'm aware of. But as I said, some chatter coming out of Germany, and I have friends in Germany, and I have people who speak. So used to saying their Spiegel there. I have people who speak German and send me stuff back and forth. I have a few journalist mates as well. I think this happens, ladies and gentlemen. I think we see Timo Werner at Liverpool Football Club. I have no idea on a fee. You can ask, and I'm not going to lie to you. I could make something up. I could pull out a number that somebody has sent me, but I don't know. And I've got numbers. People have sent me numbers, but I don't want to put them out because I don't know if they're in any way true. There you go. Andrew, I can promise you that he doesn't have Bayern Munich as his first choice. That much I can say to you. He doesn't. He always wanted to play in the Premier League. I think it's even been... I think he's even spoken about it before, if memory serves correct. But yeah, if you think Bayern's his first choice, it isn't. That much I'm almost 100% on. Right, so I'll let you guys ask anything you want to ask or put in anything you want to do, and I will give you my honest answers. But please, question what I'm saying. Don't take it as gospel. I'm not an ITK. I don't give you guys out anything that I hear because I did it once and once only, and that was around Virgil van Dijk. And I got fucking hammered for it, and it happened the next window anyway. Because it was always going to happen, and I knew it was always going to happen, and everything that I'd been told and everything that had been sent, I knew it was going to happen. I just thought it was going to happen the window before. So I haven't said anything since. I've kept everything to myself. Anything around transfers, anything I get told, I don't share on social media and anywhere, on here, on Twitter, nowhere, because I'm a skeptic and I wait until the last second because football is a business that can change very, very quickly. What else have we got? How much are you willing to pay for him? Me personally, with the contract the way it is, I wouldn't go above 45 million. Alex, he's got 1 year left on his deal. So 45 million seems to make sense to me. Possibly with a few add-ons, I don't know. Maybe some sell-on clauses. I'm not sure. It depends how the deal's negotiated. But again, that's just my number. I'm just throwing out a number that I'd be happy to pay. Right. Cheers for the advice, Craig. I'm going to surprise with various LFC goodies. Proper order. Well in, Charlene. Naby and Sadio acting as agents for Werner and Bobby with Alisson. Fingers crossed when he comes, he fits her team to a T. Werner could give Salah a break when he needs a break. Firmino and Mane need it. We can't play MFS 24/7, said Blakely. Why would Werner go to Bayern when they're falling apart and he wants to move to the Premier League and work for Klopp? And this is October, and for those of you that don't know October is of German descent. October has family all over Germany. October has friends in Germany. October has friends that work in the football industry in Germany, if memory serves correct. So yes, if you're talking about Bayern Munich or Club Hollywood, as you told me that they were called, And there you go. She knows much more about German football than I ever will, and her family is pretty well versed in German football. So if you've any German football questions, October is certainly somebody that can answer them for you. And also, as you know, I've got Dave, the guy who was on our podcast. He's based in Germany as well, in Hamburg, and he's his finger on the pulse there. Der Spiegel, said Charlene. I know, I do love that one. I do love the name of that magazine. People say Hendo doesn't deserve to be captain this Jurgen. He absolutely does deserve to be captain. 80 to 20% likely. I would say yes, Sean. I would say I would be happy to stand over 80%. From what I believe. Again, please don't take anything I'm saying as gospel though. Very hard to get VAR to work right because everyone has a different opinion, interpretation of the rules. Exactly, it's not black and white, Tom. Some decisions are, of course. Is a ball over a line, black or white? In cricket and tennis, they're black and white decisions. Werner would be a great fit at LFC, said Eugene Wallace. He would, mate. He really, really would. And we've been saying this for a while. It's like he's tailor-made to fit into our system as well. I'd love Werner if he really wants to come. John Hamilton, how are you, mate? Do you think João Cancelo would fit Liverpool? Again, Roberto, I've got to hold my hands up, pal, and say I don't know. I don't know. I don't like to give opinions of players that I haven't watched at least 10 to 15 times, and he would fit in that bracket, so it's probably not my place to say, but I'm sure people in the chat would definitely have an opinion. Would you sell Mane if it meant we got Son and Werner? Yep, I would. I would, mate, yeah. For those two players, if it was just one or those two, yes. But I believe we can go and get Timo Werner anyway. Or we will get Timo Werner, I believe, anyway. And Son is... Nobody's getting Son. He's at Spurs there, and I believe... Has he not signed a new deal at Spurs? I want Ziyech and Werner in the summer. I don't believe we're going to see Ziyech from anything I know about Werner or anything I've heard. Kate and Werner were best mates at Leipzig too, don't forget that one. Mane here to stay, no sale. He's not going anywhere, Eric, absolutely. None of the front three are, they've all signed new deals. Does Werner cover all front three positions? Well, I suppose there is only really two, Luke, if you're looking at it that way, because they're both wide positions. He did start out wide, as a wide forward, I believe, earlier on in his career, but now obviously plays more through the centre, so I would absolutely say he could play in any of the three. Mane underrated for a system, helps us a lot. Would you rather Mane than Son? Yes, I would. In a one-on-one there, I would take Mane over Son. But I do rate Son very, very highly. I think he's an excellent footballer. And I think he's a footballer that would just as easily slot into our system as well. The work rate he has is tremendous. He really is a good footballer, Son. I can't speak highly enough of him. But I would keep Mane. If it was a straight shout, I'd take Mane. FC Hollywood, those were the days when they got Rahagel fired and Mateus spoke to build on a regular basis. Craig, I haven't seen much of Werner in the Bundesliga, but he's anonymous in the per German World Cup team. He was, John. They were terrible, weren't they? They really were. But club football is what it's about, and Werner is going places. Hopefully to Liverpool, by the way. Again, just a shout out, guys. This is the last stream I'll be doing until Sunday. So if anyone's joining us later, they're just tuning in, and you're wondering tomorrow, the next day, I won't be on. I'm not going to be on until Sunday. And of course, if anybody else is watching and you haven't subscribed, please do. As you can see, we've just tipped over the 8,500 mark, heading towards 10,000 for the season. So please do keep hitting that subscribe button, guys, and helping us grow the channel. Only one player in the world that's swapped Mane for, and that's Mbappe. What a player he is. Wow. Werner should play in the middle of the front three. I 100% agree with that. Werner and Brewster adding to the attacking options would give us another 30 goals. I love the way this conversation's going here. I love all the little combinations you're putting together, all the thought processes people are having. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? I cannot wait to see Ryan Brewster as well. The future looks bright, guys. The future really does. Mane starting to show how good he can be, and inform Mane is filth, world class. He's top notch, mate. He really is. Good to see Oxlade-Chamberlain and Brewster training with the first team again. Yep, it's all pluses, mate. I'm so happy at the moment. Yeah, we can talk about the fact we're struggling for the Bayern Munich game, and I will get to that one a little bit later on, particularly in the defensive situation. But other than that, the future just looks so bright for this football club. We've got good emerging young players. The squad is probably as near to complete as it's been in my adult life supporting Liverpool. The manager is tremendous. We've got a stadium that hopefully will get another few thousand put onto it as well. We're in the Champions League now regularly. We're fighting right at the top of the Premier League. It's all good. It's absolutely good. The fans, the manager, the owners, everybody seems to be pulling in the one direction. It's great, isn't it? What a time to be a Red. Need to watch more of Werner now. You won't be disappointed, Sean. You won't be disappointed. And he's still very young. Very, very young. You reckon we'll sign Werner? I do, Lewis. I do. But anything can happen in football, mate. Please don't take this as gospel. I will get on to Declan Rice. Don't worry. I know there's a few people in the chat who've asked about Declan Rice. A few other Irish people, of course, as well, who have opinions on him. And we will get to Mr. Rice at some point. Mane and Naby talking to Timo about his transfer. Good lads. I tell you what, our boys are great at the old tapping up, aren't they? I mean, not that we'd ever tap up any footballers or anything, but they do have some interesting conversations. Jurgen will be sad tonight, mate. I think he wanted to cheer them up next week. Oh, by giving Bayern a spanking. Is that where you're going with that one? Gonna miss you, said Stephen Rich. It's only 3 nights, mate. And trust me, I need it. Mentally, I'm exhausted. Otto was one of the best managers we've ever seen at Bayern Munich. Won the Bundesliga with a promoted side to win Euro 2004 with Greece. Rahagel, is that his name? Is it Rahagel or Rahagel? I can't pronounce his name, that's why I'm just saying Otto there, mate. Klopp is equal to Poch is equal to 1-0 in the Premier League. Okay. And what is your point, mate? I mean, I'm happy to read out your comment. Is it Ember? But I'd love to know what your point is. They've won nothing in the Premier League. Okay, fair enough. Can't argue with that. Now, what's your point? Are you trying to say they're not good managers? Because they clearly fucking are. Because Real Madrid are after Pochettino, and Klopp had basically his pick of clubs in Europe. So again, buddy, I mean, I'm all for club banter and stuff, but give me your fucking point here, will you? Because Jose Mourinho won trophies at United, but you're trying to say he did a better job there than Klopp has done at Liverpool. Because if you're going by trophies alone, and of course you've got to use trophies as a tool of measurement, it's a bullshit argument. Heard earlier that Matip will only fit centre half for Bayern. Not sure how true that is. It could be true, Greg. Unfortunately, I'll get to it. I do have a little bit on it later on in the show, but I will get to it. But you're not too far off the way things are looking. It's really looking 50-50 whether we're going to have a partner from the play at centre half. Mane, Brewster and Salah will Oxlade-Chamberlain in behind. That's a definition of pace. It's sexy as fuck, isn't it? It would be definitely sexy as fuck. Congratulations on 8,500. Thank you. You've no idea. All these little targets, they do really mean a lot to us. Would you take Ryan Sessegnon for around 20 million? Yes, if we had to sell Alon Origi. 100%, Jack. I mean, what? Yes, I'd bite your hand off for that deal. Glatzel and Bobby Duncan scored again today. Bobby Duncan's doing bits, isn't he? He really is. Mate, at his best, as you said, it's fucking insane, but sometimes he can go missing in a game 4, 5, 6 shots per game. Yeah, I agree, Roberto, but look, he'll get better when he's got better players around him as well. He settles into that Liverpool team with the work rate that they have around him and the pace and the runs of the forwards that we already have there. I mean, imagine him, Firmino, Mane, Salah as a front four in a diamond, running out of defence and making little diagonal runs, pulling players everywhere. He'd get more opportunities. What about the Jovic rumours? They've gone quiet enough, Anthony. We've seen more of them linked in January. You've seen all the stuff around the nonsense about his religion or his nationality and Salah. That stuff really annoyed me that the media ran with that. But he's doing very well. Be interesting to see what Benfica... It is Benfica that's his parent club, isn't it? It'd be interesting to see what they do there, because he's only on loan at... is it not 1860 Munich? What's the club that he's at? Jesus Christ, what's their fucking names? Yeah, you know the club that he's at anyway. It's not. I keep getting 1860 Munich and this club mixed up. Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway. He's on loan there and he's doing really well. Werner is a typical Liverpool player, said Mick. he does look like a fucking Liverpool player, doesn't he? He really does. Um, what always makes me think that these things are more likely as well is you don't see many other clubs linked to players when people know behind the scenes that something looks more likely. I hope I'm explaining this well. For instance, a player like Timo Werner now, with his contract running down and only 1 year left in the summer, there should be rumours going around left, right, and centre about him. I mean, every club in Europe should be linked to him, but it's fairly quiet. You see some stuff around Bayern Munich. I've even seen a little bit around Manchester United, but as a whole, it's quiet, and I believe it's quiet for a reason. Imagine we'd all the best attackers we ever had at once in our front three. Would be amazing. Fabio Borini, Andy Carroll, Voronin. I mean, wow. Just wow, Andre. What a trio that would be. Welcome, Ella, as well. I see you've joined the chat, mate. Please mention this. Salah, Mane or Firmino. I really would appreciate. Which one is my favourite Liverpool man? Is that the question, or who's the best? I'm not sure what the question actually is, buddy. If you're asking who my favourite is there, it's Bobby. If you're asking who the best is there, it's probably Salah. Score predictions for Bayern Munich: 3-1. 3-1 or a 2-0 win to us at home. But a win by 2 goals is what I'm going to go with. Obviously the 2-0 will be better for us. Werner and De Ligt, happy times. I can't see De Ligt happening, personally. I'd love it. I mean, there's nothing would make me happier from a defensive perspective, but I can't see that one happening. Where else have we got? Sir Wilsley is a United fan. He's in, mate. It must be a little bit, and I'm not being salty here, I'm genuinely asking a question. Must be a little bit pissed off about last night. How do you fancy the second leg going over to PSG? Obviously, we know you've got no Pogba, but do you think United can claw the way back from this one? Where else we got? Sorry, just get into the next comments. Werner's quicker than Mbappe according to reports. 100 metres in 11.1 seconds. Jesus Christ, that's ridiculously quick. That couldn't be true, could it? It's mad. I never would have thought that now. If that's true, that's genuinely shocked me. My mum said you're sexy. Oh, better go to Specsavers, mate, because I don't think even my own wife thinks I'm sexy, but I'll take it. I'll take the comments. The nice comments. I mean, I get enough trolling, so I'll take any nice comments. I love Lovren. We all know I love Lovren, but I'm sick to death of the bullshit. Yes, so am I, October. I'm sick to death of fucking injuries. I'm sick to death of our backup centre backs not being available. It's just not good enough. It isn't. There's just no point in them being there if they can't fulfil their job, which is to play when called upon. And you never get a run. There's only ever fucking 3 or 4 games and one of them's injured. Should Robertson be considered a Liverpool icon? Not yet, no. It's far too early to speak about him in that breath. He'll get there. I fully believe he will, but I wouldn't say now, Carol. I think it's way too early. Rabiot to Liverpool, asks Scouse Harrison. I believe he'll end up at Barcelona. Spurs have definitely looked at him and they've made contact with Paris Saint-Germain. Liverpool, of course, have been linked to him for a very long time. I just don't know what the honest answer is there, mate. I don't know. I'd be surprised if we ended up with him. I think he's going to ask for an awful lot of money. I think it'll be a Barcelona deal, but, never say never. Do you know what's great? Yous are all saying about the trolls and stuff, but I have so many of them muted that I can't see any other comments. It's great. So they could be in there trolling, calling me everything under the sun, and I can't see anything that they're saying. It's fucking brilliant. You guys done such a good job muting people for me and kicking people out that I can't see anything. It's great. And by the way, for these trolls are the people that are talking about them, you have to realise, for most of these people, football only began in 1992 when the Premier League was formed. It didn't exist before then. Juventus have not put a bid in for Salah, Paul Greaves. That is absolute bullshit. I'm not having a go at you there, pal. Sorry, that probably came across a little bit rude. No, they haven't put a bid in. What's talked about is there's talk of a €197 million bid forthcoming if they can move on Paulo Dybala, because they're not happy with how he's been since Cristiano Ronaldo came to the club, but they won't raise that money. We won't sell. So I wouldn't worry about it. But they definitely have not put a bid in. That much I can promise you. Where's somebody else? What do you think of Adam Lewis? I don't really have an opinion, to be honest. Sorry. I don't think we can beat. Hold on. It's Johnson. I don't think we can beat PSG now. Must score 3 goals without them scoring. There's some hope and no hope. Yeah, it's the Pogba thing. If you had Pogba, John, I'd have given you somewhat of a chance, mate. I just think that silly, petulant little fucking red. Yeah, that's I think what's really screwed you over. Barca pulled out. They haven't though. That's the thing. They haven't. They might have muted that they were going to pull out, and I know that they brought in Frankie De Jong, mate. So you could well be right in that Barca have no. But what clubs say publicly and the truth is two different things. Just look at the Malcolm incident. Malcolm was a panic buy by Barcelona because they didn't get the players that they wanted. Now, if the summer comes in and they bring in Frankie De Jong, which of course they have, that deal's tied up, but they don't get another 1 or 2 targets that they want, then they could at the last minute pull the trigger again there and throw money at him. So, I don't know. What I do know and what I've read, so excuse me, I shouldn't say what I know. What I know I've read is that if there was a move to the Premier League on the table and it was a choice between Premier League clubs, Liverpool is most certainly his first choice. Spurs are definitely showing an interest in Adrian Rabiot. He prefers to go to Liverpool, but Liverpool may not be fully interested. I don't know the ins and outs on that one. I just always like hearing that anybody wants to play for us over any other team. It just makes me feel a bit better. Even no matter how fucking childish it is, it still feels good. Heard today that Lovren has not played 6 consecutive games for LFC in his career here, which, if true, is absolute bollocks. I was going with bullshit there. I was about to say bullshit, but I changed my mind. It's nonsense. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough for a professional footballer not to be able to play 6 streams. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It baffles me. I am taking a 3-night break, Daz. Tonight's my last night, buddy. As I said earlier on the stream, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I won't be here. I timed it so as I could get the 2 Champions League nights and then have a break. We need a striker to win the Premier League title. Well, have you not seen how we're doing this year, mate? We're pretty much there or thereabouts. I don't know what you mean by the comments, so I'm trying not to be too harsh, but we have a striker, but I know what you're trying to say, but we don't need him to win a Premier League title because we might win it this year. I like the young Irish keeper, Kelleher, as do I. Kevin Kelleher, I've said before, he would definitely be my choice to be the backup keeper for next season when Simon Mignolet moves on. Any chance of buying back Markovic? Can't afford him, Stephen. I mean, the buyout clause now would just be unbelievable. Actually, technically, we still own him, but he's on a 6-month loan deal, but his contract's up at the end of the season. I really thought Ajax would get a result against Real. I didn't. I thought they might sneak a draw perhaps, but Real are crafty fuckers in Europe. They just are. Whatever we might think of them, and I despise the club, they just are crafty fuckers in Europe. Some plonker said Manchester City have higher average attendances at the Etihad than Anfield. My honest answer there was I couldn't give you an answer. I don't know the numbers on that one. Now, are they talking about tickets sold or are they talking about actual bums and seats? Because I don't know the answer, so it'd be easy for me to shout them down here and go, that's complete bullshit. I don't know the actual capacity at the Etihad Stadium, and I don't know what their attendances have been, so it would be foolish of me to just throw something out there and say, oh, that's complete bullshit, but I would be surprised. Barca have genuinely pulled out because they couldn't have an agreement in the wage on his contract. Again though, Jack, as I'm saying, mate, anything can change. They haven't got an agreement now. That doesn't mean in a month, 2 months, 3 months time they might lower, or he might lower his demands, or they might suddenly realise that they're going to move somebody on and free up money, and money's there. So It could be a negotiating tactic. So let's just wait and see what happens on that one. As I said, what clubs put out there and what is the actual underlying truth is often very different. I'll miss the streams, as will I. Truly, I'll miss doing them for a few nights, but it's only 3 nights. It's nothing to worry about. It'll fly by. Klopp will get fed up if someone's not giving him what he wants and will move on. Someone who will do the job. Are you talking about Lovren here? Sorry, I'm a bit confused by the comment. Klopp will get fed up if someone's not giving him what he wants. I think he moves on Lovren and Matip in the summer personally. Or maybe that's just what I'd move on, I don't know. What's the likelihood he'll join? Are we talking about Timo Werner? Anything for likes there? Who's robbed my old image. I used to use that image on Twitter actually, funnily enough. I can't give you a likelihood he'll join. If I was to say, I have a guess, and everything is guesswork, because as I said, don't think anything I'm saying is gospel. A good 75%, 80% maybe from what I'm hearing and reading, but as I said, anything can happen. Bellamy said that Sterling is better than Salah. Again, I can understand the argument. It's very easy for us to just go, fuck him, he's talking in his art, but Sterling's been damn good. Let's be fair, I know there's bitterness from our side and all, and he could be better at finishing, but he's still an excellent footballer. They're both tremendously gifted footballers. We'd say Salah, they'd say Sterling. Bellamy is completely blue centric. I know he played for us, but he's so far up Guardiola's arse on most things that it doesn't surprise me he said that. But you can't say it's a ridiculous statement because they're both excellent footballers. If we get past Bayern, it's nailed on. We get Real and Ramos, and we beat them. If I tell you what, that Real team are not the same team that they were over the past couple of seasons. And you can talk about the fact Ronaldo moved on, and that makes it an obvious thing to say. But just looking at them, they're not as good. They just aren't. Rabiot loves Liverpool. As a free transfer, it's a no-brainer. Well, depending on his wages, crap bag. I mean, he could be wanting, and I don't know here, but he could be wanting 350, 400 grand a week. Fuck Bellamy. Say Kev, there you go. Sterling is a fantastic player, but he ain't better than Salah, said Ferno. Sterling is not better than Salah, said Paul Greaves. Salah is a class above Sterling. I mean, of course I'm going to agree with you from a Liverpool side, but I think we're being a bit too harsh here towards Raheem Sterling. Even his numbers. I hate that I'm doing this because I hate that little snake. I honestly do. I'm just trying to be a bit realistic. He's a very good footballer. And of course I agree with you all. I'm just saying that it's a reasonable conversation. I reckon Virgil is Liverpool's answer to Optimus Prime. That's a belter of my comment, Stevie. Belter. Right, some more little bits and pieces, ladies and gents. So, a lot of people have asked me about Declan Rice. So, apologies for any non-Irish or English people in the conversation here. But my WhatsApp has been going all day. I've had emails, I've had people contacting me asking me what I think of the Declan Rice situation. And I should caveat it by saying, I really don't give a shit about international football. I really don't. I don't feel that strongly on this. It's happened for us sometimes and it's happened against us this time. But, and I never thought I'd mention this phrase, I do agree with Stan Collymore on one point that he made on this, and that's that once you become a professional footballer, you should have to nail your colours to the mast. That's something that he said, or he tweeted. Once you sign your first pro contract, you nail your colours to the mast of what country you want to represent. Now, and again, this is no saltiness because I really don't give a shit about international football, but let's say, and we're using Declan Rice as an example here, he's represented Ireland underage through many age levels, I believe. I don't care if he's kissed the badge and all that stuff. That means nothing to me. I'm trying to be a bit factual here. Money has been spent on him by the Irish FAI, or the FAI, excuse me, in training him and educating him and all that stuff. And then he fucks off and plays for England. And there's nothing there for Ireland. Now, as I said, this will happen the other way round, and it will happen for Wales and England and Wales and Scotland and Wales, and every other country will have this situation as well. So to put a stop to it, I like what Collymore said. Once you sign your first pro deal, nail your fucking colours to the mast and say, I'm playing for this This is it. I'm English, I'm Irish, I'm French, I'm Scottish, I'm whoever I am. That's it. That's my take on it. Other than that, it's just bad news for us, unfortunately. We've done it the other way around before. It's happening against us this time. There's been a few shitty comments from some English people, and I've got to be honest about this. I've seen a few below the fucking belt comments. One YouTuber actually really pissed me off, and I don't want to go on a rant about him, because it will look like I'm trying to call him out because he's big, so I won't do it. But I didn't appreciate one of his comments talking about things like safety and what England can offer him that Ireland can't offer him. I wasn't best pleased with that. But look, hey, just my opinion. Maybe he was trying to trigger people, I don't know. Boo, Rice, said Sean W. And boo. Irish man, he is better. I don't know what that means. It's Declan Rice's choice. He's every right. He's perfectly within the rules. Absolutely, Roberto. No argument there whatsoever. If Declan goes to Ireland, he'll get more caps. That's probably true as well. The way he strung it out was stupid. Understand that, Sean. I thought Declan Rice was something you have at a point of Cobra and Vindaloo. Kev. Rice isn't good enough for England, said Chris Taylor. The thing is, it is a position that England probably are a little bit struggling in, if you think about it that way as well. I mean, Eric Dyer is probably the other player in that position, so they could probably deal with him. Once you play an international match, you should be able to change countries, and I'm English. You can't. Once you play a competitive international game, you can. A competitive senior international game, you can't change. If you play a friendly or anything like that, you're able to. But once you play your first competitive match, or even minutes, that's it. You can't change. Should there be compensation if you change country and have been through a youth system like in youth club football? It could make sense, Stephen. Though you do look at it from that side. Now, of course, on youth football, you've day-to-day stuff, so players are educated both on the field, off the field. Sometimes an actual education, like an academic education as well. Whereas with international football, it's a lot less frequent. You know, you're only there for certain periods, so the compensation wouldn't be anywhere near as heavy, probably. I'm not sure about Rice though, Craig. Is he pulling up threes at West Ham? I haven't seen much of him, as I said, and from an international standpoint, I'm not the biggest fan of international football, so this didn't really bother me one way or the other. Real Madrid would beat Liverpool if they were to get them again. I don't think they would, Roberto. Not this time, pal. I think we're just better. I think with Van Dijk there, with us settling in, with us having a bit more about us, mate, I think is what I'm trying to say. I think we beat them over two legs. I'd rather play them over two legs, by the way, than a once off. I've nailed my colours to the Anfield agenda mast. Good man, Stephen. And you're not changing. That's it now. You're us forever. Aidan McGeady decided to play for Ireland instead of Scotland. He's the same. He has an Irish grandparent. I love McGeady until he moved to the Blue Shites. Exactly, Charlene. That's a good point. He did that to Scotland as well. And we, as I said, it's worked for us before, so I understand everyone's point on this one. If you're English, I understand why you're happy. If you're Irish, of course, like myself, I understand why people would be pissed off. If you're Scottish, French, I understand why you wouldn't give a shit about it. There was a few salty tweets though. Who was it that put out the salty tweets? Kevin. Was it him? Was it Kevin Kilban and Andy Reid? I think put out rather salty tweets around this one. Declan Rice is a disgrace. I'm not even from Britain or Ireland, but how can you betray your own nation like that? He's a proud Englishman, is what he said for now. He's dead right to play for England. Ireland are terrible to watch. I understand that as well, Jason. I understand everybody's perspective on this, and he didn't break any rules whatsoever, so he was completely within his rights to do what he did. Would you take Coutinho for Firmino? No, not a hope. I said at the time last year, if we had to sell one of those two, I'm selling Coutinho over Firmino every single day of the week. Much prefer having Bobby Firmino at the club, and that's just a personal thing. Rice, baby. Muller. That reminds me of that Muller ad. I'm starving now thinking of that. It's nearly Valentine's Day. I just want to go on record as saying I love Liverpool and I love Anfield agenda. Good man, Chris. We love you too, pal. I'm trying to not mention Valentine's Day around my house though, so shh, don't say anything. Keep quiet. Now you got that wrong, Craig. I said should not change. Maybe I mistyped. Which one? Where did I get wrong, Gonals? Let me scroll back up, mate. Once you play international match, you shouldn't. You did say shouldn't be able to change countries. And I'm English. Yeah, but I didn't say you did say it wrong, mate. All I said is that once you play a competitive match, you can't. I never said you said anything wrong. I think you're just getting a little bit defensive there for no reason, mate. If I remember correctly, what I said was you can play a friendly and change, but you can't play a competitive game and change. Actually, I think I even said competitive minutes as well. Who do you think will win the league? Liverpool, obviously. Man City will win the league. No, they won't. Liverpool will win the league. International football can fuck off. Who's Bayern's danger man? Lewandowski, yes. Of course Lewandowski. Robin as well. He was player of the year from their 17s and 19s. He's grown up in the Ireland squad. Absolutely. There's no arguing about that either. And this is why I didn't really want to get too stuck into this conversation, because I've no emotional attachment to this situation at all. I find it hard to talk about stuff that I'm not emotionally attached to, and Declan Rice has chosen to play for England. It is what it is. I just think it's the way people treat the situation that annoys me. Like, some of the saltiness from both sides, I think, has been over the top. Southampton fan here. What player are you wanting from us next? I think we're alright at the minute, Dan. Without being smart, mate. I don't think there's anyone. That Danny Ings lad looks alright though. Any chance we could have a sniff at him? Craig, did you hear that Chelsea are getting a transfer ban? I did not. John, no. What's this to do with? Is it to do with FFP or the way that they've bought and sold so many young players? I've not a clue, mate. I didn't hear anything on it. Last Valentine's Day, I watched my beloved Liverpool beat Porto away 5-0. This one I'm doing nothing. What a Valentine's Day that was, mate. I mean, what a performance from Sadio as well. Spurs just beat Dortmund 3-0. Who are top of the league in Bundesliga? Yep, we spoke about that at the start of the stream, mate. It was an excellent win for Spurs. Keeping a clean sheet at home as well in the Champions League is fantastic for them, so you'd have to make them big favourites there to go through. What is it? Or JRHC. Welcome to the stream, mate. You asked for a shout out. Welcome. I think Bayern's danger man is Lewandowski and Ribery. Fabinho, midfield. Phillips, central defence, at season training camp being groomed. On that, the Echo did a worst case scenario 11 for Liverpool against Bayern Munich. So if all the defensive headaches that we have come home to roost, and I think in this one, from what I'm reading through, it seems as though they've gone on the premise that Fabinho won't be available. He could well be, but I think with the team that they've gone with in the Echo, I think that they've said, right, let's say he's not available. So here's the 11 that the Echo have suggested as a possible 11 for Liverpool against Bayern Munich if we have defensive injuries. So Alisson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joel Matip, Jordan Henderson alongside him at centre-back, and Andy Robertson at left back. Now, before people start jumping down my throat, it's not my fucking team here, I'm just putting out from the Echo, but Jordan Henderson was supposed to play centre back previously, but he missed the game through illness, I think. So then midfield, Wijnaldum, Jimmy Milner and Naby Keita, and then the front three. So that's the 11 that the Echo have said could well be Liverpool's 11 if Fabinho is out, if Lovren is out, and if we basically got nobody to play centre back beside Joel Matip. So what are your thoughts on that one? What do you guys think? Do you think Shaqiri should be in there? Are you happy with that 11? This is your show. I'd love to know your thoughts. And welcome to everyone that's joining us for the first time. Please do hit that subscribe button, guys. All the content on here is free. It's always going to be free, and this is our last stream until Sunday. So if you could hit that button, help us grow the channel, that'd be great. Where else we go? Valentine's Day is absolutely bullshit. It really is. I just want to say yesterday's Ramos rant made my day. Was this me? I don't remember going on a Ramos rant yesterday. Although I rant so many times, I can't remember most of them. Would you ever take Suarez back? It depends on the circumstances. I've no bad feelings towards Suarez, but it does depend on the circumstances. I mean, price, who's moving out. I hope to God Liverpool win the league. Can't stand the same team winning the league. I hate to say Liverpool, please win the league. I want us to win the league as well because we deserve it. And I fucking despise Manchester City. What's BS? Not a chance. Any chance of you talking through what you're talking about, Devin, here? You said that's BS, not a chance, mate. I'm happy to have the conversation, but I need to know what it is you're talking about. Would you play Hoover against Barca at centre back? No. He's too young, I think, to drop into a Champions League game there at centre back. It's such a big game. No, I wouldn't personally, Dale. Fabinho is crucial to our shape in the centre of the park. What do you think? I agree of having Fabinho. I'd rather play Henderson at centre back and have Fabinho ahead. But if the team that the Echo were talking about there, it seems that for them, Fabinho's injured or ill, so he wouldn't be in that. But if he was available, I'm with you. Play him in the centre. People hate internationals because you're tired and has the club players come back from pointless international friendlies injured. Yep, absolutely. And it just, like, the way they're structured as well during the season pisses a lot of people off. Particularly the one in September. The season's already getting going. There's only, like, is there 3 or 4 games or something, and then it's off to an international break. It's just wrong. Especially after you've already started to have players back late because of a World Cup, which is what we had this summer. Team for Tuesday for Anthony Peters: Alisson, Trent, Matip, Fabinho, Robbo, Hendo, Gini, Naby, and the front three. Danny Ings has been brilliant for us, but injured again is crucial for us in our survival fight. He's a very good footballer, Dan, and I hope to God he does get a good run. He deserves it. He's a great lad, good footballer, and he deserves a good spell at the top level. So I hope he gets back soon, and I hope he does fire you guys up to stay up into the league, because I don't have nothing against Southampton. Any updates on Lingard and Martial injuries? Not from me. I've not even looked up about it, mate, because I wouldn't have any interest in them. Although I know what you're talking about. We do play Manchester United, so from our perspective, I suppose it does have some effect. But no, I haven't looked up yet. I'm sure somebody has, though. Steady. Maybe somebody in the chat can help you out. Who hit 8,500 subs? We did, Kev. Whoop whoop. Bob said he'd be happy with that 11. Hopefully we can do the same thing against Bayern. They've never faced a team like us in Bundesliga. Intensity might be too much for them. I think we beat them, if I'm being honest. LFC, Timber, I think we beat them. I think we beat them at home and probably draw away. But I think we go through rather easily. Maybe I'm being a bit cocky there. What the fuck is Fabinho out? Not confirmed. He just hasn't trained since he's been over to Marbella. Or he didn't train when he arrived in Marbella, Claire, I should say. I don't know if he's trained recently. Fabinho not out against Bayern will start probably Lovren. Well, again, you don't know that Fabinho's not out against Bayern. I hate when people make fucking statements that they don't know to be true. It really winds me up, especially when I spend time researching the actual facts to try and find out if something is going to happen. And none of us know if he'll be fit. I hope to God he'll be fit. But saying that he's not out, and Bayern will probably start Lovren when both of them could be out, mate. It just gives people in the chat false belief, and then if they are out, somebody's going, well, what happened here? Somebody said this and this. You're just leaving yourself open. Good evening from Jamaica. Hello, welcome. Wow, Jamaica, that's nuts, thinking that somebody's watching us over there. That's crazy. Timo's world class, said Sam. I don't know whether it's my internet, but YouTube keeps freezing. I've not had any reports of anybody else, Anto, yet in the stream that's had that issue, but of course, if there is, I'd like to know if anyone else is having any issues. We'll never forget your legendary reaction to Origi's 96-minute goal versus Everton. Yeah, that was fun. I think it was my only rant that's got demonetised because there was too much swearing in it. But do you know what? I wouldn't change it for a thing. That was one of my favourite moments on YouTube, yeah. Play centre-backs or centre-backs we need for being out mid. We don't have any, Eric. That's the problem, mate. We don't have centre-backs. That's why we're struggling a little bit at the minute. Lovren is maybe. He's 50-50-ish. Oxlade-Chamberlain, excuse me. I keep saying Oxlade-Chamberlain when I mean to say Joe Gomez. Gomez out, Van Dijk suspended. So it's Joe Matip at the minute. You could talk about Keane Hoover, of course, but I think it's just personally, I think he's too young. What's up with Werner? I believe he will probably end up being a Liverpool player, Danny, from what I'm being told over the past 24 hours and for what I've read and for what I've been sent. But, as I keep saying, anything can change in football, so please don't take this as gospel. I said earlier on, I don't usually say anything about what I get told or what I get sent because I don't want to put my neck on the line most of the time, but there's been a little bit of chatter coming out of Germany as well around this one, and somebody even suggested July the 1st to me, but I mean, I never really hang my hat on dates, but it does make a lot of sense, is what I'm saying, and I'd be fairly confident without trying to guarantee anything. And always, I say, everybody, take what I'm saying with a pinch of salt and doubt everything I'm saying. Please don't take me as gospel because I'm not an ITK. I'm not somebody that has brilliant contacts all around the place. I just get sent a lot of stuff. Sometimes it's from a couple of friends I know that are journalists. Sometimes it's absolute bullshit. It's just sent to me by people who like the shows. Genie's still ill. Fabinho was fine. He trained today, which is tickety-boo. I don't mind Hendo at centre back. He actually, in an emergency, said Claire. Lovren buying Salah a car tomorrow. Defo. And a cup of coffee. Defo happening. James Pearce hinted at Henderson at centre back on the Anfield Wrap this week. I'd be willing to watch, but I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing. But as I said, he was supposed to play there. I can't remember what game it was. Was it Wolves? He was supposed to play there against somebody, but he wasn't available then at the last minute, and we had to switch it up. Werner would be an amazing signing as well as De Ligt. I don't think we're going to get De Ligt. And maybe I'm just refusing to believe that one. Maybe other people know stuff I don't on that, but I wouldn't be expecting it anyway, Billy. That's what I'd say. But if it happens, wow, what a signing it would be. We need to go and sign players that can actually change what we have. Go get Fekir and Mbappe. Fekir isn't coming, so you can forget about that. Mbappe, look, do you realistically think Liverpool are going to go and spend 250, 300 million on Kylian Mbappe? And yeah, I understand what you're trying to say, but Fekir we all know about. I mean, well, for whatever reason that one's dead in the water and none of us know. We can guess if it's the ACL, the way it was rebuilt, payments, whatever it might be, I don't know. But Mbappe's never going to come to Liverpool, mate, as much as we'd all love it. Worried now, to be honest. But no, we're winning the league. There you go. Tickety-boo. Connor Masterson has gone quiet. Klopp rated him highly. That's true, actually, Greg. That is true. I know we had some injuries. There was a couple of things around injuries. We had Masterson picked up an injury and what's his name? Nat Phillips picked up an injury. I don't know which is which, but one of them was just back and one of them was out for a while. So maybe it was the injury that kept him out for a bit. The stream is great and I'm behind a complete firewall. Said Daily, thank you very much for that one, pal. Glad to hear that it's not affecting many people, whatever that issue might have been. João Felix from Benfica would be a great sign and he looks the real deal. Is that the kid that we're apparently put in a fucking £62 million bid for that nobody heard anything about but Benfica said they rejected? Is that the guy? Lovren and Matip are too injury prone to be the first choice, so do you think we need to address the situation in the summer? 100% Survivor 202, and I would move both on. And for the very reasons you've said, I am a pain in my arse looking at those two getting injured. It's just ridiculous. I've had so many rants about this, and it's got nothing to do with their ability as players. It's only to do with the fact that they can't put 10 games together. That's the thing that annoys the shit out of me about those two. I've got nothing against them as footballers whatsoever. The team needs to learn how to get through a proper game without VVD. It's going to be a time somebody else to step up and lead the lads, make it a non-issue. Exactly. And we don't know how we're going to cope yet because it hasn't happened, so no point in our heads falling off until the game happens. X Factor is to be axed ahead of a shake-up. It's fucking shite anyway, to be fair. What can do you think we'll get? Who do I think we'll get? Cameron, is that the question? Timo Werner is my answer, but I'm not sure if that's the question. João Felix, isn't he the gentleman from Benfica? I think, Tom. VVD needs to have a word and do some elbow rubbing to De Ligt. Oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine Gomez, De Ligt and Virgil van Dijk at Barcelona? Or at Barcelona? Oh, put my foot in my mouth. Oh, Gomez, Van Dijk and De Ligt at Liverpool. That would be brilliant. To be able to pick two from those three would be unbelievable. Or even play the three of them if needs be. Phillips is back in rehab. He's training with the first team in Marbella. Thank you for that one, Hem. Fabinho was racing Millie today. He trained. Great stuff. Who won? Is he faster than Millie? Even Millie full of Ribenas. I can see us getting Timo Werner, but I'm sick to death of these Nabil Fekir rumours. It fell through, end of. There is no rumours though, that's the thing. It's only people wanting it. I've yet to see the media say that we're back in for Nabil Fekir. It's only Liverpool fans who just hope or think that we should have got him. And I understand why, he's a great player. But it seems to be completely dead. We're hardly going to go and sign John Stones now, to be fair, the Irish man. We're hardly going to go to Manchester City and say, do you know what, lads? Give us your 50 million centre back there, will you? I know we're competing with you for the league and all, but come on, any chance? Any chance? Give us John Stones. We'll give you Dejan Lovren and Joe Matip and Alberto Moreno and Divock Origi and Simon Mignolet, and we could even sort out a couple of curly whirlies as well. Should be going for De Ligt. He's been great tonight against Real Madrid. Anybody that what we think is good, right? Anyone that you guys point out and that I think is good, you can be fucking guaranteed that the club have looked at them. You can be guaranteed of that one. The club will have gone through hundreds and hundreds of footballers from around Europe. They will have scouts all over the world looking at the best young talents coming through. And then those scouts will report back to senior scouts who will then have a look at these players, whether it be on video or go watch them. They will then come back and report to Barry Hunter, and Barry Hunter will then have a look and decide whether he goes and looks at them, whether more senior coaches go and look at them. But don't underestimate the amount of homework that football clubs, not just Liverpool, put into looking at players. They're aware of all of these players, I promise you. I put Henderson at centre half next week, said Stephen Richards. Is Werner coming? I can't say a yes or a no on that because I'm not going to give a definitive answer, but I'm confident. That's what I can say. Fekir had a knee problem which didn't complete move. Again, you're stating something as a fucking fact that none of us know is true. This is about the 5th time in this stream you've done it, mate. He has a knee problem, yes, we know that. He had an ACL. It was built. It was rebuilt, and it was rebuilt the way that... There's two ways of rebuilding, again from my limited knowledge, there's two ways of rebuilding an ACL. One way has a quicker recovery period but isn't thought to last as long, and the other way has a longer recovery period but players seem to last longer from it before they have to have more treatment. Now it seems from what I've read that Nabil Fekir had the one that gets you back playing quicker but that you don't get as long from, and that some of his training means that he has to take 3-4 weeks off every, I don't know, well I can't remember what the amount of time was, to recuperate and rest. So I don't know. The sensible money would be that Liverpool's medical team looked at the records and weren't happy with what they've seen. For all we know, they could have been willing to take a chance, but the underwriters that write Liverpool's insurance might have said that's a very high insurance risk, or maybe that's uninsurable for us. So you never know in these situations. It's a very complicated business signing a footballer. Melissa Reddy said anything about current situation. I don't know, is the honest answer. I'm not on Twitter anymore, so I don't look at any of these comments. But if Melissa Reddy does read or write anything, I would certainly look at it because she's an excellent journalist. United are playing before us next Monday. We're playing Tuesday, and they're playing in the FA Cup against Chelsea, and then of course we've got them at the weekend. I hope we get Werner, as do I, Billy. I mean, he'd be perfect, absolutely perfect for us. Spurs are better than us. Look how they tore apart Bournemouth, Kane and Ali. Honestly. Alright, go support Spurs, mate. Just fuck off and go support Spurs. I don't get it. Took apart Dortmund. Did they really take them apart? I mean, I watched the game, most of it, and I wouldn't say Spurs took them apart. They were clinical, absolutely. Son, amazing goal, brilliant ball in for him. But go support Spurs if they're better than us. I don't get it. We're fucking brilliant. When are people going to realise this? Even our own damn fans. Liverpool are absolutely class. We're in the latter stage of the Champions League. We've lost one fucking game in the league all season. We're unbeaten at home in the Premier League for almost 2 years. And we still have fans moaning and wanting to be as good or better than other clubs. Spurs are behind us in the fucking league. Come on, be realistic. I so get annoyed. Our own fans being moany little... I'm not going to... Calm down. Werner and the Lit, can you imagine? It would be tasty. I heard some talk about Puma and they're running for a kit sponsor next season. Have you heard anything? All I've heard, Jared, is that we currently get around 45 million from New Balance, and that the club believe we could be in around the 70 to 75 million pound a season mark with whatever the next kit manufacturer might be. All I know as well is that we've one more year on the New Balance deal, and that's it. Other than that, I haven't got a clue. Who's in the running? I don't know. I suppose it's whoever puts down the most wedge. Whoever says, you know what, they're 75 million quid a year. Go do your thing. I'd love it to be New Balance, by the way. I'd love New Balance to give them a number that the club are happy with, and for Liverpool to carry on working with New Balance. I like the New Balance stuff. Would I like Adidas? Yes, damn fucking right. Would I like Nike? Nah. Not Nike. Of all the football kits that we could get manufactured by, I don't want Nike. I just don't believe they're a good fit for Liverpool. I don't know why. Do you know the way sometimes you've got a phone company that you just don't like? Maybe you've got one particular mobile phone or a cellular phone provider and you just don't like other ones. I feel that way about Nike and football. Not Nike and trainers because they make amazing football or runners and stuff, but football kits, I just don't like them. Our team is full of undercover agents, Bobby, Manny, Naby, VVD. Spurs look really good today. They did. They played really, really well. And as I've said, well, to be in the first half, it was a much closer game, but they've done brilliantly this season. They've done really, really well to get to where they are in the league, but they're not better than us. Not by a long shot. What else we got? Klopp recommends FSG boys. That's the plan. Whoever we go for, we have a solid team to build on going forward, and the future is bright. It really is, Grim. It really, really is, mate. That's a great show. And we've got good young players as well coming through. We don't need much. I mean, this team is, or this squad is a lot stronger than it has been. We're maybe, if we're being really, really critical, 4 away, but you probably get away with 2 or 3. I like New Balance at the Irishman. Hey Angus, how are you, pal? Ziyech will be the one I go for next season. Got everything, passing, vision, shot, underrated. Also scored against Real tonight. Well, everything there is, I understand, but him scoring against Real tonight shouldn't come into the equation whatsoever. You don't get extra points or extra points for your scouts for scoring against Real. But look, he's done well. I just don't think we'll ever sign him. What age is Ziyech? Is he 26? Or am I wrong on that one? Sancho is desperate to play in the Premier League. Did you see his post-match interview? I didn't. I had to come up, John, and get set up. I didn't get to see any of them. I wouldn't be surprised if Manchester City throw them money on the table again and try and bring him back. I'd gladly give up winning the Champions League to win the title. So would I, Gonads, in a heartbeat, and I wouldn't even blink. Nike just doesn't suit us as a club, said Jay Kismet. I want them to keep New Balance, but they need to sort out their away and third kit. I love that grey kit this year, mate. I absolutely love that grey kit. This one that I have on, yeah, it's a bit mad, I have to say. But the grey one, I love it. It reminds me of the first ever Liverpool shirt I had, which was the 1989 candy grey one. So yeah, for me, maybe it's just a personal thing, but this year, I love it. I'm not a fan of colours though, so I'm not really that overgone on the home one. Do you think Werner will be the striker and Firmino just behind him? I would imagine so, Billy. That seems to make sense to me, but you never know with Jurgen Klopp. You just never know. Ben Woodburn looks good for the future. I don't want to be critical of a young player, but his development is slowing, shall we say. I know a lot of people who are very knowledgeable on the coaching side of the game and aspects like that seem to have questions over his pace, but I mean, he's too young to ever write off, so I wouldn't go as far as to write him off, but he does need to push on a little bit. I think that's fair to say. Ziyech is a top player like Coutinho, doesn't suffer injuries. Craig's the AA cult leader. I don't want this to be a cult, to be fair. But We are going to organise a mass suicide very soon for anyone that wants to take part. Obviously, I'm fucking joking, by the way. Jesus Christ, don't come at me over that. Anyone listening, parents, anything like that, this is a joke, obviously. No seriousness here. It's the week after. Ironic how mobile Immobile is. I don't think Klopp would take a risk on him again after having him at Dortmund and it not working out. We're so attractive to any player right now, without sounding arrogant. Any player linked with us would be so keen to play for us. Look at Keita, Fabinho, exactly, and Van Dijk, mate. Don't forget about him. He had his choice of clubs as well. Could have gone to Manchester City. Edwards and Klopp are boss. I mean, Edwards has been amazing, hasn't he? I mean, the business that man has done has been sensational. Here's the latest. Liverpool will receive a bid for Salah from Juventus, 50 million plus Dybala, so a total of 125 million. Although they would sell it as a €160 million deal according to Tudor Sports. Right, so here's the latest on that. Juventus will be told to stick their 50 million and Paulo Dybala up their hole, and that Mo Salah's gone absolutely fucking nowhere, according to Craigo from Anfield Agenda. So, there you go. Tudor Sport. They can stick their money up their ass. He's going nowhere. I'd like us to get to the semi, said the Irishman. Yeah, the grey kid's lovely, said Jimbo. I'd make the purple one our away short and bring the retro style yellow one as our third top. I wouldn't mind the yellow and red away shirts, that would be nice. Salah wouldn't go to Juve, it just doesn't make sense, said Louis. I mean, it's not a step forward in his career anyway. And I understand anybody who comes at me now and says that Juventus are winning Serie A every single year. I get it. I understand that. But it's not a step forward as a football club. It could be on a par with Liverpool in and around the same level, but it's definitely not a step up in his career, so I wouldn't understand it. Especially since he only left Italy and he feels like he has something to prove in the Premier League and wanted to be here. Ziyech is 25. Thank you for letting me know on that one. What do you think will happen with Harry Wilson next season? I think he'll go on loan to a Premier League club, John, but that's just guesswork. He may well impress Jurgen Klopp in pre-season and he may well end up back at Liverpool for next season. I don't think the club will sell him. That much I'd be very, very confident of. I just think he might need... He's done really, really well this year at Derby County, and I mean, he just owns the Goal of the Month award at the moment. I just think he might need a season in the Premier League at a good level. Somebody like Bournemouth actually would probably be a really good move for him on loan. Oh yeah, that would probably be a very good club for him to go on loan to. I'm not a big fan of Werner, but many people think he's big time. Keita and Mane are also saying he's quality. He is quality. He really is. But he didn't have a great World Cup, as neither did Germany, as somebody pointed out earlier on. Wilson will be more involved next season, no doubt. Yeah, I understand why you think that. I hope you understand why I think he'll go out on loan as well. Harry Maguire, would you be happy with that signing? Oh God, that's a tough one. He's got such a big head. It's a really big head, like, it's massive. It's like Mount Rushmore sized head. But he's an excellent defender. I mean, there's no doubt in his quality, but he's got such a big head. So big, like, it's massive. Yeah, no, all jokes aside, he's an excellent defender. Whatever team he plays for would benefit from having him. I used to wonder about our system, would our system suit him, but the more I've watched him, the more he's impressed me. He's a damn fine defender. Michael Edwards is much better at his job than Ian Eyre ever was. Guy deserved a knighthood. Has a great ring to it. To be fair to Ian Eyre though, Ian Eyre was promoted up the ladder at Liverpool. So I don't really like talking anyway ill of Ian Eyre. Yes, he wasn't a great transfer negotiator by the looks of things from the outside, but none of us really know how much his hands were tied when he was going into those deals either. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here, because I know Ian Eyre loves this football club. How is a better team, Liverpool or Man City all over? Godfrey, I think what you're trying... I'm not having a go, mate. I'm genuinely trying to answer your question here. I think what you're trying to say is, how is Liverpool a better team? Manchester City are better all over. I think, mate. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But to answer that, they're a good squad. Of course, Manchester City are a great squad. And nobody's saying Liverpool are a better team. What we're saying is, I think Liverpool will win the league, is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say they're not a good side. Of course, Manchester City are a damn fine side. They're an excellent team, full of exciting footballers that play the game in the right way. But of course, I'm going to back my team. We have the game in hand. Let's not forget that. Here's a square head. Mo's beard was on a clip. I did. Did you see how quickly that's grown back? I mean, wow. We need to keep showing how much we adore him. We'll all be fine. Triple his wage. He's just signed a new deal. We don't need to triple jack shit. He's just signed a new deal this summer. Verratti is unreal, John. You've probably, if you've watched this stream for a long time or you've listened to me on podcasts, you'll know I've often said, going back a few seasons, Verratti is the player I would have loved Liverpool to sign. He is the ultimate midfielder for me. He just oozes class. Dybala can't compete with greedy, self-centered Ronaldo. Dybala not in good form and wants out, worth a cheeky bid. Look, if we're talking about just buying Paulo Dybala here and we're ignoring the Mo Salah part and he's going nowhere, then fucking yes, sign me up for Dybala, 100%. Dybala would be brilliant in our system. He'd be lovely to play in between the lines. I would have him in a heartbeat, but not if it involves us losing Mo Salah. I don't care what the numbers are around the transfer. But just him as a player, yes, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, I take him. Dybala is going to Inter apparently, just rumours though. I mean, I'd like to see him step outside of Italy, to be honest. I think he deserves better than a move to Inter. True, I've changed my mind. It was mainly because Ronaldo went there. I didn't want Salah going. Did I get banned? Couldn't post for a while? No, mate. No. Nobody that I'd seen banned you. Let me look back up. No, mate. I can't see anything from our side that banned you. I definitely don't remember you doing nothing to get banned. You're usually a very nice, polite person. How much do you think City will spend next season with Liverpool win the league? Love that question, Sean. When Liverpool win the league? I don't know what the way the finances are, mate. I think a lot will depend on how this investigation by UEFA goes into their FFP issues. The lit VVD Club and Country will happen. Agent VVD, I'd love it, Eric. I mean, we'd all love it. He's absolute quality, isn't he? Guys, last show for tonight. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet and you're enjoying the stream, please do hit that subscribe button. We've just gone over 8,500 subscribers, which I'm so proud of. Thank you. But we do want to keep pushing on and we want to try and hit our target of 10,000 subscribers for the season. So if you can do me a massive favour, everything on here is free, so you'll never have to pay for any content. Please do hit that subscribe button. It doesn't matter if you're a Liverpool fan, United fan, City fan, Chelsea fan, whoever you support. As long as you're polite to the people in the chat in here and you come in with football opinions that are honest and open and non-abusive, then you're very, very welcome here. Ben Chilwell would be good cover when Moreno goes. He's a very, very good footballer. He's so impressed me, Ben Chilwell, the way he keeps progressing. But what I would say is I wouldn't see him coming into cover. He's too good to just cover people, isn't he? But yeah, we did look at him a few years back, but he's kept progressing. Really, really good footballer. Salah rumour started via Sky Arabia. Links to Mansour. They didn't. They started via Russia Today. Is the first place to talk about the Salah deal. Go Nads. And that's a fact. They came out of Russia Today. They were the first people with that. And it was 197 million when they spoke about it. Enair was our Ed Woodward. Over promoted and out of his depth. True. I'd agree with that. Verratti was awesome yesterday. Marquinhos nullified Pogba. Anyone like Icardi? Yes, I do, Greg. I really like Icardi. I love me a bastard. I love me a narky shy. And Icardi is that in spades. City have a good first team, but so do Liverpool. Both have excellent squads. Would you ever take Messi? Of course. Who wouldn't take Messi? Even at his age, of course you'd take him. Icardi is class, but I'm not sure he'd be good in the Premier League. Oh, I don't know, mate. I don't know. I know it's a personal thing, and we won't ever know until maybe he plays. But I think he would. I think he'd have enough battling qualities to fit in the Premier League. We're a better team now than we were last season, and Madrid are now worse than they were. The only team who could stop us. I fancy us against anyone, John, in the Champions League this season. And I've said a lot this year. I think it's the most open Champions League in a long time. So Barca could win it. Bayern could win it. They won't because we'll knock them out. Real Madrid could win it. Liverpool could win it. Juventus could win it. Manchester City could win it. Spurs put on a good show tonight. If they're solid in defence, literally anybody could go and fucking win this. Like, it's a very, very competitive Champions League this season. I'm confused. Larry Leeds said only 90 likes. Eric Warry said 210 likes. You've got me confused. Can we aim for 10,000 subs? Would be perfect for the Premier League season. That is absolutely the aim for the season. 10,000 subscribers in our first season would be amazing. So I think we might get there as well. We've still got March, April, May. We've still roughly 3 months, and usually we average out at about 11 to 1,500 subscribers a month. So all going well, yeah, we should get there. But please do hit that button, guys. Would you take Pogba? I don't know. Probably. If I'm being honest, probably. It'd be very easy of me to say fuck Pogba, but if he's at it, he's a very good footballer. I mean, the athleticism that he shows sometimes, he is good. There's certain things in his game that I think he needs to cut out. He's a bit petulant. That whole way that he tries to shield the ball and has his foot up high, that's just going to keep getting him into trouble if he doesn't stop that. After suffering Europa League shy for years, it's brilliant for LFC to be back in the Champions League year in, year out, and being in the title race as an added bonus. It's delicious, John. It's absolutely delicious. We could go all season losing just one solitary game to City in the Premier League. Exactly. And we've played, what have we played now? 26 games, and we've only lost one. United game, your count will go up a good bit. I think so. I think actually around the Champions League it will go up a good bit. If I remember back to the Napoli game, I think we had our highest ever views for the watch along for Napoli. I think it was about 61,000 viewers for that watch along, which was unbelievable. So yeah, I'm hoping in and around the Champions League we'll definitely get a few. Going on to the United stand and having Mark on here will probably get us a few as well, as will the game itself. So I'm confident. I'm really confident that we'll get there. Larry Leach is upset, guys. There's 96 likes. He wants us to get to 100 likes. So if there's 4 or 5 people there that haven't just clicked like on the stream, please do that. I say Larry Leach wants it. So do I. We have a proud tradition here of hitting 100 likes, don't we, guys? He's a liability in all ways. Pogba? Oh, come on, be fair. If you show Paul Pogba at Juventus or Paul Pogba when he's on form, he's a fine footballer. He is. Try and be fair. Maybe you just don't rate him, of course, and you're fully entitled to your opinion, but there's a player in there. There's a player in there with the right manager, the right belief, the right players around him. I definitely think there's a special player in there. Strolls around the pitch like he owns it and got schooled by Ferrari. He does have that whole arrogant part to him, Graham. I can't deny that, mate. He does. But is that a French thing, though? Please don't assume that's a racist comment. It's more of a question than anything else. Don't a lot of them have that kind of expression, that flair or belief in themselves? Thank you to everyone, by the way, that hit that like button there. I really appreciate you guys. Witzel, I haven't seen enough of him, mate, to give you an honest answer. Wasn't he the player that played in Russia for a while before he came? Did he play over at what are they called? Not Spartak. Was it Spartak? He played over in Russia before going to Borussia, didn't he? So the Belgian guy. I haven't seen that much of him. Played well tonight, though. Actually, I did watch some of him tonight, and he played well. Beautiful head of hair as well, and I mean that sincerely. Pogba's a great player, but I feel like Man United is just not his team. He was better when he played for Juve, which I would absolutely 100% agree with. Zenith, thank you. Oh my God, you guys are so well versed when it comes to your football. Absolute legends. Random, but they're Spiegel. Oh, it's my favourite two words to say in the world actually at the minute is Der Spiegel. I could get that tattooed on my arm and just keep reading it. Der Spiegel, Der Spiegel, Der Spiegel. Maybe Der Spiegel, if you're watching, you could give me an old job and I could just go around saying, "Welcome to Der Spiegel. I'm Craig from Der Spiegel. And today on Der Spiegel, ba, 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 Zenit then China." There you go. So yeah, a lot of questionable moves there actually. Well, not to Dortmund. I mean, that's a good move. Pogba's great potential, needs to mature quickly before his career passes him by, said Anthony Peters. Michael Edwards is like Michael Dillon from Martin Market in the day, walking players around and displaying them. I don't know what that is. Pogba's great talent, but Fergie got rid because he was trouble, and it's all about the Pogba show. Poor attitude. They really got fucked though when they did get rid of him, didn't they? What did they get, $500,000 at the time or something like that when he was 18? Pogba's a good player, but his work ethic just isn't there, said Sean W. The joys of playing FIFA, Craig. Know all the players. I mean, fair fucks. Why not? Do you think we'll get Werner? I do, mate. I do believe we will get him. I've nothing to say that's a fact, so please don't say that Craig said we're definitely getting Werner. I believe that we'll get Werner, but that's just me. Thomas Tuchel impressed me last night. He'll never impress me. I understand why you're saying that, John. I'm just a horrible, bitter bastard towards BTEC Klopp. I don't like him one bit. But look, I know where you're coming from, John, and you are right. I'm just being a horrible bastard. Rashford would be good for us, said Billy Walker. He's a good footballer, isn't he, Marcus Rashford? One player that's certainly pushed on a little bit under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm just hearing you saying the mirror, the mirror, the mirror. Yeah, it's a fair show. Very similar. Do you think we'll get Werner? I've just done that one. Do you think Naby was a good signing? Yes, I do. And look, I'm not going to be silly and say that I think he's pulled up any trees since he's been here, because he hasn't. But he will. And he's starting to show week by week a little bit more. And he's picked up injuries and he's struggling with the language issues, and he's still settling into the country and the club and everything that goes with that. So I'm willing to give him time, but yes, I do think he'll be very, very good, and I'm so happy he's at the club. And I'm actually wearing a Keita shirt right now. On the back of this is Keita A. Everyone checking Werner odds on Paddy Power. When first and foremost, I don't want to say this because it might come back to haunt me in the future if we ever get any sponsorship. Shop around. If you're ever putting on any bets, shop around, because there can be massive differences between certain sites on different things. So just shop around if you're a bettor. Tuchel is a horrible fucker, said Anthony Peters. I don't like him one bit. I have to say, I just don't. But from people that are in and around Paris Saint-Germain, they've said that within the squad he's done a very good job of managing the players that are there from the point of view of their egos and all that kind of stuff. He seems to have done quite well. So you've got to give him credit for that. What have we got? Right, 5 minutes, guys, and then I'm going to hang up my mic until Sunday. So any last bits and pieces, put it into the chat and I'll try and get through it. Oh, it does mean the mirror, does it? I did not know that. There you go. Thank you, Patrick. See, you live and learn. Thank you for that. Klopp can turn Werner into an amazing player like we did with Lewandowski and many others. Craig spent 120 million on 3 signings. What positions are you signing? Striker, 10. Centre back. But do I have 120 million on top of any sales, John? Because I'm selling Matip and I'm selling Lovren as well. So yeah, striker, 10, centre back. Jonathan Tah rumours again. I have to say I haven't watched much of Bayer Leverkusen this season, so I haven't really seen much of Jonathan Tah. I want to see Joe and Van Dijk partnership again this season. So do I. Got cool. I really do. I love you. I love you too, mate. I can't read out that name because it's far too long. No, I'm gonna give it a go. Actually, it's fuck out of here, boy. I hope I did your name justice. Werner or Fekir in the summer, which one? Werner. Fekir is not happening. You can forget about Nabil Fekir. What do you think the best signing has been? Van Dijk. I could say Salah as well. There's an argument for both of them, but I just think Van Dijk. Say hi to me mum Barb in Cranbrook. Cheers, Craig. Hello, Barb. I mean, I don't know which part of Canudia or where Cranbrook is, but anybody that raised the wonderful man that is Larry Leach deserves praise. So Barb, you done a fantastic job. Larry is an absolute gentleman. It's been a pleasure to get to know, and thank you for watching. I watched the young American McKennie play in the Bundesliga. He's very good. The guy playing at Schalke, we've certainly been linked to him. I don't know how serious the links are, but we've definitely been linked to him. We've seen him linked a few times in a few media outlets. What do you think Liverpool's strongest start in midfield and current form is? Fabinho, Gini, and look, it's Oxlade-Chamberlain if he's fit for me. But you're saying on current form, so Milner probably. I don't like Tuchel either, but you've got to give him credit for beating the Manx. Yes, absolutely. He does deserve immense credit for that. Went there, 1-2-0, not an easy place to go. Can't wait until we see a transfer room in the start that gets traced all the way back to Anfield agenda. Well, we did start one that went all the way through to France Football Now. Is that what they're called? FFN? The account that has over 1 million followers. They did tweet something when we said that Gini Wijnaldum was gone to Lyon last year on a wind-up. It got quite far. Would you take Danny Ings back? No, because of his injuries, but not because of his footballing ability. I think he's a very good footballer. I do hope, whatever happens with Danny Ings, I hope that the guy goes on to get to play games and show what he's capable of, because he's a really good footballer. When is Oxlade-Chamberlain back? I think the club are hoping around the stage of the quarters of the Champions League, so whenever that is, maybe 4 weeks. Liverpool will play well against Bayern. Right, guys, I'm going to call it a night, if that's okay. I will chat to you all on Sunday, so I won't speak to you for Thursday, Friday and Saturday. So don't get surprised if you come on and I'm not here. There's nothing wrong. I'm just taking a few days off while Liverpool aren't playing. Well, we've a nice big gap. I'm going to take a few days off, spend some more time with the family and get some rest. So I will chat to you all on Sunday. Thank you to everyone that subscribed. Still time to do so if you haven't. Thank you to everyone in the chat as always. You know I love you guys. I really appreciate the time you give us on here and the support that you've shown the channel since we've started. Look after yourselves. Tell your loved ones you love them. Have fun. I'll catch you all on Sunday. Lots of love. Up the motherfucking Reds.